Fluttermane has been one of the most dangerous Paradox Pokemon to enter the fray. With its high speed stat as well as its extensive move pool, Fluttermane is quite the special attacker. Welcome KO crew to another VGC guide, and today we're discussing Fluttermane, its most popular builds, best moves, and even unique EV spreads that allow it to accomplish specific goals. Starting off with the Focus Sash build. This build for Fluttermane runs Shadow Ball, Icy Wind, and Moonblast, and provides decent offensive pressure with these moves. You also get some speed control with Icy Wind. Moonblast and Shadow Ball apply really good stab damage as well, and the Focus Sash allows you to survive potentially devastating hits, while still allowing Fluttermane to apply really good offensive pressure. For the stats, it's pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna really want to take advantage of what Fluttermane's got going on here. It's got 135 in special attack, special defense, and speed, so that's where we're investing. Other people might invest in defense, maybe even HP, but they're already abysmal. We got Focus Sash. We don't want to last a long time, but we just want to have a good time on the field, if you know what I mean. So with this, it feels like it really allows Fluttermane to do what it's meant to do, and that is to apply really good offensive pressure. But real quick, another build I wanted to discuss for this Fluttermane. I didn't want to give it like its own spot because I don't think it would be very good, but it's worth noting here is it gets access to Imprison as well as Trick Room. And with this speed, you're able to imprison and prevent other teams from using Trick Room, which will still allow you to use your speed maximally while also still having Shadow Ball and Moonblast for significant stab damage, as well as the Ghost Terra type to, keep the immunity to fighting and normal types while still doing tremendous damage with Shadow Ball. Now, I just wanted to bring that up, but I still really think the Icy Wind and Protect on the last slot would probably work better for this Focus Sash build on Fluttermane. Now let's move on to the next one. Here we have the Life Orb Fluttermane with the Terra type Fairy, and we got some very interesting moves here. We have Dazzling Gleam that takes advantage of the Terra type as well as the Life Orb. We got Shadow Ball for stab, protect, but then we also have Substitute. Now the way this works is, keeping in mind how frail Fluttermane is, going with Substitute on this build, it almost acts as if it's like a free Focus Sash, and this works really well if you pair it with a redirector Pokemon on the team that will allow, Fluttermane to kind of get it up for free. But if you can't get it off, then I wouldn't prioritize that at the cost of your own damage. Now, having a move that reduces 1/4 of your health, it's really important to pay attention to Life Orb Chip, which is 1/10 of your health. So if we go over here, you'll notice that it's at 29, and I do this a lot for my Life Orb set Pokemon to kind of like optimize how much chip damage we have. And just real quick to explain it, if we go all the way up here, we have 130, and what that means is we're losing 13 HP every single turn. However, if I drop it down 2, we're only losing 12 HP every single turn because Pokemon rounds down. However, we only really lost 1 HP stat, and for me, I feel like that's a pretty good sacrifice to potentially lose 9 HP less in total from chip damage overall. And then again, we're maximizing speed, special attack, and a little bit in special defense to do some pretty good damage with this Fluttermane set. But now let's go into the Fluttermane build that I really like and I've tested a lot. It's the Clear Amulet Fire Terra type Fluttermane. In fact, I have Terra Blast on here, but I was supposed to fix this. I honestly, after doing a little bit more testing, I feel Mystical Fire might be better because then you don't have to actually commit to your Terra type, and you do get the boost as well as the added benefit of reducing the opponent's special attack. The only difference is Terra Blast has an extra 5 base power, which could be impactful, but I think Mystical Fire actually gives me a little more flexibility and a little bit more room to apply pressure through damage reduction. But yeah, this is running Shadow Ball and then the spread move Dazzling Gleam, Mystical Fire, which we just covered, and then Protect. Stats here are a little bit different. Instead of reducing the HP because we don't have Life Orb, we're actually trying to maximize it. We got it all the way up to 140 this time. We're also optimizing defense here. If you remember the first build, I was like, you don't want to do that. But on this build, we have a Terra type that lends a little bit of defensive coverage because more often than not, you're gonna get targeted by a Steel type on the opposing team, which Fire resists. So if you Terastallize into your Fire type, you're taking that Steel damage pretty easily, and more often than not, returning with your own Mystical Fire, which is gonna one-hit knockout. We have a max speed, We have 116 in special attack to apply really good damage, and the reason we have that is because we're holding Clear Amulet. We're not worried about any sort of stat reductions. Oh, and the biggest reason, which is why we have Clear Amulet, I kind of skipped over that. That's like the main thing. Like, you're probably wondering, okay, why the heck do you have Clear Amulet? Well, that's because Fluttermane's biggest asset is probably its immense speed and special attack stats, right? Like, we can't disregard that. However, it gets outsped by Pokemon like Iron Bundle, who can also apply speed pressure with having with using their own Icy Wind. But by having Clear Amulet is a great counter to preserve Fluttermane's pressure. We're never dropping our speed. In fact, if we're able to get up some sort of speed control and damage reduction on our side, we're in a much better position overall. You could play around with this and throw in stuff such as Calm Mind. It does get access to Calm Mind if you wanted to. You could swap your Terror type to a Steel type to really take on some nicer defenses. But all in all, this is kind of where I like my Fluttermane currently. But yeah, that's going to be it for the Fluttermane guide. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Which one is your favorite? Who do you think Fluttermane would pair well with? I discussed this in probably all the other VGC videos, but I think Fluttermane works really well with almost any of the other Paradox Pokemon. But I want to hear it from you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think are probably some of the better overall Pokemon. They don't even have to be Paradox Pokemon that are going to take advantage and use Fluttermane and just work really well with Fluttermane. But yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one, KO Crew. Till then, later.